You have to give her such a huge, warm welcome. Let her hear it.
Thank you. That works. Whoa, so bright. Okay, so first storyteller of the night. So my name is Tawney, and growing up, many offered interpretations of my name, because when you say my name is Tawney, it doesn't end there. People are like, what does that mean? Is it short for anything? And it's not. Tawney is my mother's maiden name. So, it's also the color of the beach. It's also a port, like the drink, raisin wine, I guess. But one particularly impressionable time in my life, an interpretation was offered to me. And I had just graduated from Duke University in the year 2000, and that's when cell phones were really coming into their own, the World Wide Web was growing, but the way to find a job was not yet via the internet, it was via the classified ads in the newspaper. And I should also mention that I followed my instincts, and rather than move to New York City where my parents lived, and they're true New Yorkers, they call it the city as if there's only one in the world, I moved to Washington, D.C. for a boy without a job. So I go to the classified ads to find myself a job because I'm going to make it all on my own. And I see this ad like, are you too good for all the jobs? And do you want to get your career started today? And I'm like, hell yes, I do. And so I call her right up. And she says, please come in tomorrow. So I got an appointment right away. And I show up, knock on the door, and this woman opens up the door, and she's wearing a blue gingham suit. Now, I have prepped myself. I'm a total, let's call me a tomboy. I have my black pantsuit on, J. Crew, and I have Kenneth Cole black lace-up shoes. And my hair, I had long hair, very straight, and it was down, and I had on no makeup. And Ruth is her name in the blue gingham suit, and she looks at me, and she gives me this look of total disapproval. And I'm filled with hope, but I'm starting my career today. And so that's when my first instinct is this isn't gonna go well, maybe. So Ruth invites me in, and she goes, do you have a middle name? And I say, it's Elizabeth. Why? And she says, because Tawney, what do you think of when you hear the name Tawney? And I said, I don't know, it's my name. And she says, because I think stripper, trailer trash. And you would think my instincts would be like, get the fuck out of there, but they didn't. And I remained, and I was like, okay. And she's like, we should go with Elizabeth on your resume. I'm like, okay, because I'm determined to make it on my own in Washington, D.C. and not go to New York City. So she then proceeds to tell me, I have real job interviews for you, and you are wearing a pantsuit. And she says, and those lace-ups, they're disgusting. You're going to go down to the 9 West, and you're going to buy yourself a pair of black pumps. And I do. So I go downstairs, buy myself a pair of black pumps, and I leave my Kenneth Cole lace-ups at her desk. And then she says to me, and your hair looks terrible. It doesn't look like you've run a brush through it. You're going to go to the bathroom, and she takes out the tortoiseshell clip in her hair and gives it to me. She says, you're going to put this in. And then she looks in her purse, and she pulls out a Maybelline, pink lipstick. She's like, you're going to put this on. And then finally, she takes off her gold clip-on earrings and hands them to me. And I do all of it. I put on the earrings, I put on the lipstick, I put on my shoes, and I am refreshed Elizabeth Bains to go out into the world. So I go to these 3 interviews. The one I remember is Charles Schwab. It was for a receptionist position, and I crushed all the interviews. I did a great job. And I go back to Ruth's lair, and I knock on the door once again, fancy and new with my earrings and my pumps. And she opens the door, and I experience an entirely different Ruth. She says to me, Tawney, you did great today. I'm so proud of you. You're definitely going to call back. And I am just frozen in time. And I say, great, and then I leave. I go home, or I go out to the payphone on the street, again, no cell phones, and I call my dad, who I'm very close with. And I say, Dad, and I regale him with my story, and I burst into tears, Maybelline mascara running now to the ground, and my dad pauses after he hears the whole story, and he says, Tawney, I don't know why you stayed there and endured all that. And he's like, but we didn't send you to Duke University to go to some second-rate city and work for some second-rate financial firm. Charles Schwab, sorry. So At that point, I'm totally deflated, and I go home to my roommates. And I lived in a house, a group house. We were like the eyesore of the neighborhood. There were 5 of us in this house. And I regale them with my story once again, and we're drinking a bunch of Bud Lights. And they're just like, Tawney, I can't believe you did that. And I was like, I can't believe I did it either. And I realize that I have left my very favorite Kenneth Cole lace-up shoes at Ruth's office. And so I think to myself, I'm going back there. So the next morning I wake up, strengthened by my roommate's confidence in me, and I put on my very best Banana Republic skirt suit. I put on my pantyhose, pull it up, and I put on my new black pumps. I put my hair up. I put full face on. I put my diamond earrings in, pierced through, the whole thing. I show up at Ruth's office. Again, I experience the nice Ruth. I knock on the door. I can tell that she's so pleased by the way I look. She's like, Tawney, we have callbacks at all 3, and I know you're just going to get a job today. And I say to her, Ruth, with all due respect, I'm not going back to those job interviews. And she says, why the fuck did you come into my office today? And I was like, I forgot my shoes. And she takes the shoes from behind her desk and threw them at me. And it was at that point that I decided to always follow my instincts and go by Tawney.
Keep it going for Tawney, our first storyteller of the night. Great way to start off the evening.